Hello everyone and welcome to the Smashy Business Show. Today is Friday, May the 2nd, 2025 and I'm Abdul Majid Awan.
And I'm Ward Ahmed and we have a great show for you today. Today we're discussing how MrBeast has signed a Riyadh season deal with Turki Al Sheikh. And secondly, the Saudi CEO has warned against misleading digital consultants. And thirdly, Dubai real estate market has had a very strong start in Q1. And the U.S. may ease Nvidia chip restrictions for the UAE. And finally, we will discuss how Trump stablecoin is being used in a $2 billion investment from MGX into Binance.
Let's start with light news. YouTube sensation MrBeast has signed an exclusive deal with Riyadh Season to produce original content and experiences in Saudi Arabia. The agreement announced by Turki Al Sheikh on Instagram includes the launch of MrBeast Park, large-scale challenges, and a headline appearance at the Riyadh Season 2026 opening ceremony.
Now, the deal follows MrBeast's visit to Riyadh Season in 2024, where Al Sheikh first teased future collaborations. Now, MrBeast's company, Beast Industries, which is also the majority stake owner of Feastables, plans to launch in Saudi Arabia by September 2025 this year. Now, the expansion will be led by CEO Alexander Zigliara in partnership with Teen Plus.
Beast Industries was recently valued at $5 billion after a $300 million funding round led by UAE-linked Alpha Wave. Despite reporting $60 million in losses in 2024, the company is pushing ahead with ambitious global growth, leveraging MrBeast's massive subscriber base of nearly 389 million.
Now, he truly is the king of YouTube with the most subscribers. Now, in a surprising twist, Al Sheikh actually also teased a crazy iShow Speed project set to be unveiled during a boxing match in December which was unveiled in a boxing match in December 2024. Now, he claimed it was surpass even MrBeast's deal, signaling Riyadh Season's growing push to dominate global entertainment headlines. I think with this entire story, what I find so interesting, it's it's the fact that finally, after teasing it for so long, Turki Al Sheikh has finally finalized a deal with MrBeast. The pair have met for this Riyadh season, where he said that there are many surprises coming soon. And honestly, he delivered. But I think what's hilarious for me is that when he met Speed, we know how many children in the world love this man. They're completely... In every single country, by the way, every single country, like, he does not miss anything. In the Middle East, in Asia, I saw videos of him in Japan.
He goes everywhere.
People are always chasing him. And I remember I saw a video when Turki Al Sheikh met him. He said, hey, we'll do something even bigger than MrBeast.
And now he signed MrBeast.
He signed MrBeast, but it's almost like, MrBeast, if he signed with you and he said that, are you really getting the best deal?
It's interesting because Riyadh Season last year also was a big extravaganza. I didn't see it. I didn't go to Saudi in that time. I think Ward didn't, but a lot of people who went, one of them was my wife. She went to a lot of Riyadh Season attractions. And she was like, it has grown so much in just like 3 or 4 years since it's been happening. I was there in Saudi for Jeddah Season. I saw that like from a distance. Looked great. So imagine Riyadh Season is bigger than Jeddah Season. So I think next year they're just making it bigger and better, and everything is growing at a pace in Saudi Arabia overall as well.
But I think with these stories, if you notice, Majid, the person who's always pivoting around everything is Turki Al Sheikh. He's the chairman of the General Entertainment Authority of Saudi Arabia. And, this man, his influence, it's not to be underestimated. He was a part of the board that finally approved for cinemas to be a part of Saudi Arabia after being banned for so many years. And I think that he would go out of his way to finalize something with MrBeast, with the most YouTube subscribers in the world. You know what that tells me, Majid? he understands the importance of the young generation. He understands, the trends that are being pushed by Gen Z and how their influence is truly their influence is it's crazy. It's truly it's changing the entire world. And I think the fact that a millennial can recognize that, I think that speaks a lot about his character.
Yeah, and they have the money to do it also.
Yes.
Very interestingly, they
Yes,
have
they
the money
do.
to do this. Saudi Arabia right now. And talking about Saudi Arabia, very interesting LinkedIn post which we read yesterday. Saudi Arabia holding company CEO Mohammed Al Qahtani has raised red flags over a growing number of self-styled digital consultants in Riyadh who, he says, lack genuine local insight. His warning comes after a non-Saudi Arab consultant with multiple virtual C-suite titles publicly misrepresented Alam, the kingdom's official Arabic large language model, in short LLM. So
Now, the consultant mistakenly reviewed a low-rated mobile app, assuming it was Saudi Arabia's official AI initiative. Now, Al-Qahtani clarified that the app was not affiliated with the Saudi Data and Artificial Intelligence Authority or the SCAIA. He emphasized that LM is a high-grade institutional LLM hosted on platforms like Hugging Face and IBM Watnox, far from a simple consumer chatbot.
And with Riyadh fast emerging as a global AI hub, Al-Qahtani warned that misinformation from superficial experts could distort international perceptions and deter investors from coming to Saudi. He criticized individuals who use inflated titles to gain influence without truly understanding Saudi Arabia's digital transformation journey.
Now, the episode has sparked calls for more scrutiny of who represents Saudi Arabia's tech ecosystem abroad. Now, local institutions may push for higher standards in consultancy, while international stakeholders are being urged to partner with credible voices rooted in the country's vision, not just those with high-profile LinkedIn bios.
Very interesting post because he referred to his own post where he was talking about this LLM, and then one guy randomly appeared and he was like, oh, this, you're wrong. It has only 500 reviews and it's such a small thing. And he was like, no, you're talking about the wrong thing. The original thing, it's not publicly available. So please. Very interesting, very nice from him. He's very active on LinkedIn.
Was he a man?
Yeah.
He was a man. Yeah, men love to mansplain things, so I'm not completely surprised right now. But I think with this story, he has an extremely good point.
Yeah.
I think with and this is exactly why PwC fell into the pothole that it did. Basically, what happened and what we discovered after plenty of updates, I feel, is so PwC's advisory and consultancy services were banned for a year due to the fact that they basically tried to hire one of NEOM's
executive directors.
And I think his name was James something.
Yeah.
I forgot the second name. But anyways,
I'll find it.
they tried to hire a James and it didn't work out well for them because in the end of the day, it's very unethical. And even goes against the code of ethics in accounting, and they had to suffer from that. And I think this is something that a lot of people argue. The reason why this also happened to PwC, why they're having this major issue in Saudi Arabia. I remember, Majid, you mentioned that in Africa, what happened there?
They've shut down all their offices in Africa, so that's one thing. Last year,
That's an entire
2024,
continent.
2024 October, they were fined in China for a wrong audit. Recently, they were fined, I don't know, a lot of millions of pounds at least, for their wrong audit in UK. So they're facing a lot of problems, and this is actually a window into that case also. And recently, we did a news on PwC also that they're restructuring their Middle East team. They're firing 2 of the top executives and bringing new faces just to make it up to.
And I think, and the reason why I mentioned PwC and the reason why it links so much to this story about Mohammed Al Qahtani is because basically what he's saying is that all these consultants are just making stuff up.
Yeah. Even their LinkedIn bios.
Yeah, they're making things up that sound really smart. And honestly, you could arguably say that's what the consultants at PwC are doing. And the fact that the consultant that did this in Qahtani's story was a non-Arab, a non-Saudi Arab consultant.
Yeah.
So it's, they've hired people who don't actually know the region that they're a part of.
So yeah, this is the main thing is they have 2,000 people according to all the reports that we've done. We did a lot of stories on this. They have nearly 2,000 people in the Middle East, PwC, and out of that they earned nearly 2 billion last year when the fiscal year ended. So they're making money. They have hired people. Even then, I don't know why they're making such stupid mistakes. It is stupid. You never hire from your client. The client will be angry because you're trying to poach a guy who is very important to them. So that's the first mistake they made. Now they're trying to do damage control, which I don't think will work. Their ban ends in Feb 2026. So after that, I don't think they'll get any other contracts. Funny thing is, we saw another
They might
report.
not even get new employees, Majid, because salaries are going down. They're losing a lot of revenue.
But very funnily, the other two main competitors, that is Deloitte and Ernst and Young, they have hired more people in Middle East and they're increasing the number of teams because all the contracts that were going to PwC, specifically from PIF and NEOM, now are going to be divided amongst them. So they are like pushing towards, oh, we should get this contract since PwC is out of the picture. So yeah, very interesting dynamics. The whole point, the whole idea, what I saw from Saudi perspective on this is that we need to create a local intelligence towards consulting. We don't need to hire these multinationals. The good way is that you bring them in, learn from them, make a whole workforce, local workforce, get them to get PwC and all these guys to teach them and them to learn all of it and then be like, thank you very much. Now we have local expertise. And this is the general consensus by a lot of people who are talking about this throughout the last 2 months, that we need to create local expertise. Don't hire people from outside. They're cheaper, obviously, because you pay them in Riyal and not pounds and dollars. And local. You create jobs for your local people first and then hire outside consultants.
It makes completely sense. You know, Majid, there's this word in Arabic, I think it's one of my favorite. It's called falsafa.
Oh, yeah, philosophy.
No, it doesn't mean philosophy.
No, falsafa is philosophy.
Almost, actually. But falsafa is, I feel like that's what all these, like, you know, these non-regional consultants come and do. They just come and give you falsafa. Because basically in Arabic, by the way, when you're talking about something and you don't actually know what you're talking about, but you're just saying like a load of rubble, we call it falsafa.
You're talking about another annotation of falsafa. The literal term falsafa, it's also very common in Urdu.
Al-Faylasuf,
yeah.
philosopher.
So,
But Arabs, we call it falsafa when you're talking about something you completely don't know anything about. And I think that's what these consultants are
basically
doing.
making
they're
up
just
stuff.
coming and they're just laying out a bunch of falsafa that actually can't be applied practically. Maybe in theory, but not practically.
Yeah. Talking about reality and real things, let's go to real estate. The Dubai's real estate market saw a robust start to 2025 with a total transaction value reaching 179 billion dirhams in Q1, up 7% year on year, according to EFG-MA's latest Dubai property tracker report. Residential properties dominated the quarter, making up 72% of all transactions, with nearly 50,000 units sold in just the first quarter, imagine, totaling 128.6 billion dirhams.
Now, off-plan sales led the way, accounting for 60% of all transactions and jumping 28% year on year to 74.2 billion dirhams. Now, driven by launches in areas like Palm Jebel Ali and the Valley, ready sales made up 26% and mortgage activity rose 30% year on year as interest rates eased yearly in the quarter. Now, apartments saw the most buyer interest, representing over half of ready unit sales.
Despite the momentum, average property prices dipped 2% quarter on quarter from a high base in Q4 2024, last year basically. Most transactions, 79%, were in the affordable or budget segment, which saw a 59% increase in value. In contrast, the luxury segment declined slightly by 2.7% year on year.
Now, office rental values surged 21% quarter on quarter to 2.4 billion dirhams, driven by new lease agreements in areas like Business Bay, Jumeirah Lake Towers, and downtown Dubai. Meanwhile, Abu Dhabi outpaced Dubai in rental yields for the first time since 2022, with Jumeirah Village Circle and International City leading in new rental demand. Now, I was talking about real estate to Majid, and I would say, honestly, the fact that all of these big transactions are happening, we can definitely attribute it to the salespeople that they hire. And trust me, the sales environment for real estate in Dubai is cutthroat. It is not an industry that I ever want to be a part of. Like I was telling Majid a story about this girl. She works for a real estate company, which I will not name, but she basically I think joined like 3 months ago, and she I believe she made the company like 58 million dirhams, and they fired her because she did not get a third deal. So imagine 58 million dirhams out of just 2 deals. And she got fired because she couldn't get a third one. So you have to truly imagine that, honestly, we don't talk about this enough, but real estate, it is built on the backs of those sales associates that are calling people all day long, chasing people all day long, and honestly, like, big ups to all of you. You're really you're doing a really difficult job.
The funny thing is that everyone thinks that you come into real estate in the UAE and Dubai specifically, and you'll become a millionaire in a year or two. But if you know people, if you've talked to people, they've been here for like 6-7 years now, still not millionaires, still hardly making ends meet. It's just like 2 or 3% maybe out of all the real estate agents that we have who hit a big 6 or who hit a jackpot. They find one rich client who buys something and they eventually get word of mouth out about them. So it's very rare. So even if you're trying to come here for real estate, don't try to go into sales. Go into literally anything real estate. You'll be paid good. You'll have a good career. Go to admin, go to operations, go to anything. But if you want to do sales and if you're not the top salesman in your brain and even in idea of yourself, don't come here. Even if you're like 1% not convinced that you're not the best at sales, don't come.
Or
it's
if your nose
very
is very
difficult.
high and you can't, you don't have that beggared running after people behavior.
You have to literally chase people to buy property. The good thing is that a lot of investors who come to Dubai, who come to the UAE, they're foreigners. So they come here and they want to invest. But if you're trying to find people, if you have inbound sales like within the UAE, it's very difficult to convince people to buy because they know their numbers. That's also the funny part. You can't just expect someone to be like, oh, pay 1 million
and you know
for
what
this.
It is? There's so many of them.
Yeah.
There is so many.
And everyone is a real estate expert in Dubai, to be honest. Like we say in Pakistan, everyone is a cricket expert. I think Sudan has something where everyone knows something about one point.
That's a really good question.
Yeah.
I need to think about
everyone,
that.
like America, everyone is a baseball fan at least, or an NBA fan. Like every country has this thing where the whole population is an expert. Right now, UAE, everyone is a property expert. So let's move from the UAE to the West, and a mix of both actually. So the United States is some hard news, just to give you a hint. The United States is considering easing restrictions on Nvidia chip sales to the UAE, according to sources quoted by Bloomberg. Familiar with the ongoing discussions in Washington, President Donald Trump may announce initial steps towards a bilateral semiconductor deal during his upcoming visit to the Gulf from May 13 to 16, though no final decision has been made still.
Now, talks have intensified with the Commerce Department and the White House regarding modifications to AI chip export rules, specifically for the UAE. Now, these curbs, part of the so-called AI diffusion rule, were introduced during President Biden's final days in office and are set to take effect on May 15th, while Trump is expected to be in the region.
The UAE has pledged to invest up to $1.4 trillion over the next decade in energy, AI, semiconductors, and US-based manufacturing. That commitment, unveiled during His Highness Sheikh Tahnoon bin Zayed's visit to Washington in March, has accelerated conversations about granting the UAE greater access to advanced chips.
Now, sources say additional Emirati investments in the U.S. tech sector are expected, with Trump officials reportedly exploring a larger UAE stake in Intel. Now, this follows Abu Dhabi's Mubadala-linked Silver Lake acquiring a majority stake in Intel's Altera division. However, Intel and Mubadala have not confirmed any new discussions.
Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang recently called on the Trump administration to revise export regulations, warning that strict controls could push countries towards Chinese tech alternatives. The UAE has made efforts to address US security concerns, including distancing its AI sector from China's Huawei, a move that enabled a $1.5 billion deal with Microsoft.
Majid, I was actually watching this interview with Jensen Huang, the CEO of Nvidia, and I remember this reporter asked him, do you think China is behind the US? And I remember this man never stutters. And he stuttered. He stuttered, by the way. He said, China is not behind the US. He said it's not behind the US, but he would not say that it's ahead of the US either. Because in the end of the day, I think he's he's a US citizen, and he's probably like, you know what? No, I can't say this. This is not good. This is not good PR. But I just I just saw the way he stuttered, and I think with all these tech giants right now, all these tech leaders, I really do think that their investment in Donald Trump, it flopped. Do you guys know that Donald Trump, out of all U.S. presidents, in his recent election, he got the most funding. I forgot what the number was, but he got the most funding from all of these.
For his inauguration.
Yeah, for his inauguration, even more than President Obama, more than all of them. And these tech leaders, why were they betting on him?
Meta gave 100 million. The 100 million club, I remember, it was Meta, it was
Mark,
Amazon.
I think gave 1 million. I remember. Mark Zuckerberg, I think it was $1 million.
Yeah, Meta was 1 million. Amazon was 1 million. There's this, the next story, World Liberty Financial, those guys gave 1 million. Musk though spent like $1 billion in just like side shows when he was being elected during his election campaign. So this inauguration fund, I remember, just on the point, we didn't cover that story. It's too like out of our league of Middle Eastern stories. But since we're here, there's this whole crypto giants thing which invested 359 million-ish amount to him. He recently met them in the White House. He called all of them, and he met them in the White House.
I think that may make up most of the amount he actually received.
So imagine everyone paid for his inauguration fund because everyone wanted business deals with him.
But now it's actually all going north, because think about it. So with Elon Musk, Tesla's second largest market and buyers, where are they? They're in China. And what has Trump done? He's completely burned the bridge with them. Completely made it disappear, actually. And then you have
Musk crying in the corner.
What? Exactly. And then you have Mark Zuckerberg right now, and he's facing a lot of cases. So I think, to be honest with you, what this is proving to me is the only people who might actually stand to benefit from Donald Trump's policies may just be the Gulf. It really just may be the Gulf.
And it's not like we invested in him before election and we tried to like put him in place. We're just good businessmen. We understand in the Gulf that we will do trade with him, which will benefit us eventually, and then he will be happy. So with the Gulf, it's a very nice business transaction. But all these guys that we just listed, Metas, Amazons, everyone, Microsoft, 1 million club, all these guys, they gave him that money because they knew that there's cases going on. Meta has an antitrust lawsuit. Microsoft has an antitrust lawsuit. Google has a conflict of interest. I think that's also an antitrust law. All of them have cases going on in the US. So they are trying to give money to get favors from him. We are doing basic trade, that we'll invest this much, and in return, we need access to the AHFs.
The exact fair trade that Trump is trying for. But by the way, the number for how much he raised during his inauguration, according to the New York Times, it's $239 million.
Nice. A lot of money. But recently also, another news, there's Token 2049, which recently concluded yesterday. It was a 2-day event. A lot of things came out of it, but this was like the bombshell. A stable coin launched by Donald Trump's crypto venture, World Liberty Financial, has been chosen for the $2 billion investment into Binance by Abu Dhabi investment firm MGX. The coin, known as USD1, will be used to close the deal, according to Zach Witkoff, a co-founder of World Liberty, and the son of the founder, Steve Witkoff, who spoke at Token 2049 in Dubai.
Now, Witkoff, the son of Trump's former Middle East envoy, Steve Witkoff, said MGX, a Abu Dhabi-based firm, selected USD1 as the official stablecoin for the transaction with Binance, the world's largest crypto exchange. Now, World Liberty launched the stablecoin in March, claiming it is backed by U.S. Treasuries, cash, and equivalents.
And the announcement has sparked political backlash in Washington. Democratic Senator Elizabeth Warren slammed the deal, calling it corruption and warning that pending legislation, the so-called Genius Act, could further enrich the Trump family through unregulated crypto ventures backed by foreign funds.
Neither World Liberty nor the White House responded to requests for comment. Meanwhile, USD1 circulation has surged to $2.1 billion, according to CoinMarketCap, making it one of the fastest growing stablecoins. However, the identities behind major USD1 wallets remain unclear.
According to blockchain research firm Arkham, a single anonymous wallet received $2 billion worth of USD1 between April 16 and 29. Meanwhile, a social media photo shows former Binance CEO Changpeng Zhao, who is now living in Dubai, meeting with World Liberty executives in Abu Dhabi. You can see the picture if you're watching the show. And the funny thing about all this story is that you see the stage where this was happening, this announcement by Zach Pitkoff. He was sitting in the middle. There was Eric Trump on one side, and then there was Justin Sun. Justin Sun is the guy who bought the banana. You remember the banana taped on the wall thing for $6 million?
Yeah.
He's the guy. So that stage in Dubai had three of the most powerful youngsters in the world of crypto and overall as well on the stage. And Eric Trump said a lot of good things about Middle East. He said UAE is the only country which says yes to everything. And he dropped a lot of bad words on Europe, says they're impossible to work with right now. And when I come to UAE, he's like, I came and I said, I want a golf course. And UAE was like, yes. So he's like, whatever I say, they're like, yes. Yes, they're so nice and they want to do business.
I think it's the generous Arab spirit there.
Yeah.
It is.
But they're making use of it.
But if they say inshallah,
yeah,
you don't know if it's going to happen.
they
You
put
don't
it to
know-
God.
You don't know if it's going to happen.
This is the joke that I learned when I came to UAE. In Pakistan, we say literally inshallah on everything. By God willing. Like God willing.
Yeah.
We say
do
inshallah
too,
on
magic.
literally everything. But I came to UAE, my first boss, something happened, he said something and I was like, inshallah. And he looked at me and was like, don't say inshallah. Then you're putting everything on God that, oh, if God willing, I will do that. Say, no, I will do it. I was like, okay, I will do it. So
Inshallah.
he's like, yeah, no, he's like, don't say inshallah, because he's like, people here, it's a funny thing. People here just say inshallah, so they're like, at the end of the day,
Like,
if we
just shut
don't
the
do the
conversation
work,
down. Shut the conversation down. Inshallah.
yeah,
Inshallah.
inshallah, inshallah. So they don't want to do it, maybe.
No, I remember there was this one time, Majid. I'm just going to put this out there. I hate meetings.
Yeah.
Don't have a meeting with me for an hour. I will actually despise you.
Everyone
I'm,
listening.
I'm being completely serious, by the
Yeah,
way.
1 hour meetings are too long, I think.
It's just like 5 minutes is enough. Like if there's actually something to do, you need me to do it. Just tell me what you need me to do, the how, the logistics.
Yeah.
Message me if something. I always, by the way, before I talk to someone or I have a meeting, I nowadays ask myself, can this be solved through a simple message? And if it can, imagine I don't go talk to that person.
Oh, yeah, we did a story
Honestly,
about this also, the giving
Muhammad
movement.
Al-Abbar, and it was also Muhammad Al-Abbar.
That fight also?
Yeah, between him and Khalaf Al-Habtour.
Yeah.
So basically what happened...
It wasn't a fight, sorry.
It wasn't a fight.
Actually, Muhammad Al-Abbar said something, Khalaf Al-Habtour replied,
I know that
and then nothing happened.
Basically, yeah, because of course Al-Abbar is never going to respond.
Yeah.
But Muhammad Al-Abbar said that meetings are useless.
Yeah.
You should not be having meetings like that. It should just be on the side conversations, and you keep moving.
Yeah.
And then Al-Habtour responded on X saying that didn't you lose like $1.6 billion in the U.S. and for I'mar to lose that like a decade ago, that is a very extreme amount. And then I think and he said that's why meetings are necessary so you don't lose money like that. But I think what was ironic is just a few weeks later it was announced that Khalaf Al-Habtour had lost over $1 billion in Lebanon that he could not get back.
Yeah.
So in the end of the day, I think the debate is ongoing. But point is, why was I mentioning meetings? Oh God.
You said, I don't like meetings. Recently, the Giving Movement, the HR manager, they're now called the Culture and Something manager. She also said that we've stuck a pointer or like a paper on every meeting room that could it just be a Slack message.
That's what I'm thinking. For me, it's could it be a Zoho click message?
Yeah, just
Honestly,
say
that's what
a
I think.
message.
But I remembered why I said that, and I said that because in university I do this thing Majid, and I realized it's really bad where people are like, "Can we have a meeting?" and I'm like, "Inshallah." But I actually meant it
You
in the
don't
way
want
of,
it.
it's not happening.
Yeah.
It's not happening. Inshallah. I think I'll start doing that around the office. But anyways, that's a wrap for today. Thank you for tuning into the Smashy Business Show. Make sure to follow us across all social media channels at Smashy Business and stay ahead with our daily newsletter. It is going out this weekend, and have a lovely, lovely weekend. You all deserve it.
This has been a Smashy Business Show, a Smashy Business production, part of the Augustus Media Podcast Network. A big shout out to our 1.6 million monthly listeners across all platforms. You make this possible. If you're one of them, we appreciate you. Have a great weekend. Bye bye.